Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got 5 more super cool knives that you should definitely check out. These should all, for the most part, be available. So I will make sure that they are all linked right down in the description so that you guys can check them out. It does help my channel when you use those links before you buy something, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Starting off here with an obvious one, the new Savivi Vision FG. Listen, everybody knew that this was going to be great, and it is. It's spectacular. And now the super lock doesn't actually come out thanks to the stop pin, which is all, you can remove it and you can take this out if you want to. But just during general manipulation, this super lock, which is fantastic. Not only is it really fidgety and fun, but it's also legitimately super. I mean, it's very, very sturdy. This is a very durable knife. It's based on, well, its older brother, of course, the Vision R. I think the FG originally was supposed to mean field grade or something like that. This is, of course, all based on the custom by Snex, but they have managed to get this into a $78 Savivi frame. This knife is absolutely worth it. I handle a lot of knives on this channel. A lot. I have 3,600 uploads, and I do 2 uploads a day consistently. So just this year, I've handled a ton of stuff. This is absolutely one of the best knives to release in 2023, and absolutely one of the best knives at this price point. Nitro V, I believe, is what we've got here for the steel. Handle profile is great. Ease of manipulation is great. They've got the pocket clip mounted, not on the spine anymore like on the Vision R. It's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but you can flip it over to the other side. So lefties, you can enjoy this literally exactly the same way as a right-handed person. This is a wonderful, wonderful EDC knife and is absolutely worth the money. If you don't like these sort of swampy colors, they have a bunch of different colors available, including a really nice Damascus version. Boy, I hope Savivi continues with whatever Damascus they're doing. It's worth at least looking at. So this one will be linked right down below. Moving on here, a weird one. This one came out of nowhere. The vosty Nightshade. This is the full-size edition. But wait, the blade steel is LMAX. Oh, okay, so it's expensive. Yeah, LMAX and titanium bolsters and some jade G10. So it's expensive, right? $135. If you're familiar with LMAX, you'll know that that's not usually a steel that we see at the $135 territory. Because of the profile of the blade, this is essentially like a small folding kukri, this actually works really well. I mean, breaking down cardboard boxes or just doing any sort of light to medium duty cutting task for an extended period of time. Fully flat ground, lots of belly, and very thin behind the edge. This thing is very, very user-oriented. Very easy to manipulate, too. You also have the opening hole there, which makes it really easy to reverse flick and sort of forward flick. But yeah, once again, vosty bringing something to the table for an amazing price. I really thought this was going to end up being 14C28N, and it was going to be like a $75, $80 knife. But I don't know about you. $135 for LMAX and in a great blade profile, and with some extra added fidget factor and some cool, kukri action. Yeah, what am I saying? That was a weird sentence. It's a good buy. Yeah, absolutely. It's very cool. So, which is the only criteria for this list. Moving on here to something substantially more expensive, but very, very impressive. I can finally talk about this. Oh my goodness. This is the Knives Cybernetic. Wow. This is an expensive knife. This is a special edition knife. I have come to expect a certain level of quality from Knives, and it's high. I have them at a high standard, right? But I don't put them on the same level as Riot or a number of other like ultra precision manufacturing companies. Why? Because they're where they're at. They make good knives. In some cases, they make great knives. But the top tier, I don't usually put up there because they've never really done anything that I could consider to be top tier until they did this. Oh my gosh. I keep joking. Was this actually made by Knives? This is ridiculous. This feels like it was made by Custom Knife Factory or possibly Shirogorov, right? The level of precision machining is utterly insane on this. And it's not like, I mean, they had to know. The whole thing is different than anything else that we has ever made. Seriously, not just the action, but the overall feel and look and everything. It's almost like, I said this in the review as well, which you guys have not seen. It's almost like we got some new equipment, and they just were like, let's see how hard we can push this stuff. And they pumped out the Cybernetic. This knife has a very similar blade to handle ratio. The reason Shirogorov comes to mind is because it's 8.75 inches overall and has a 3.85 inch blade. So it has really good blade to handle ratios. It's very similar to what Shirogorov does, and it almost has that Shirogorov or Shirogorov collab look. The blue accents on this particular version are very, very nice. Like I said, this is a limited edition. I think the one they gave me here was number 8 of 200 and something. So there's not going to be a ton of these. This is, in my opinion, the best looking version, but there are other versions. The base price of this knife is $297, which is a lot of money. But I'll keep saying this. If you were ever going to spend $300 on a Wii knife, this is the one. If you are not a fan of front flippers, that's the only way to deploy this knife, but it does work, right? And if you want to learn, this is a good one to learn on because holy crap, this thing is amazing. The full review is coming. This really is on a whole new level for Wii knives. But anyways, this guy will be linked down there as well. Moving on here to a knife that is nowhere near as expensive. And this is a knife that I probably should have talked about a while ago. Apparently, it's been out for a while. This is the QSP Swordfish button lock. This is a really nice, simple Wharncliffe button lock with very, very traditional handle profile, or a traditional handle profile, but it just works. QSP, I think, really shines in the budget territory. They've got some premium stuff and they've got some cool stuff in the premium end, but truthfully, I think a lot of you will agree with me. Where QSP does their best work is the budget territory. And on this channel, that's under $75, which is, this knife happens to just land in that zone. It's $70 for 14 C28N, a beautiful tumbled finish, which I have to point out, QSP still doing probably the best medium polished tumble finish at this territory. I mean, there are knives that cost multiple hundreds of dollars that have this exact same finish on it. And it looks good. It's acceptable. On a $500 knife, I would accept this because it looks really, really good. The Wharncliffe blade shape is obviously excellent for general EDC, just being shaped more, like a utility knife. The flipping action is great. The thumb stud action is great. Like I said, full-size profile, so really easy to hang on to. And we've got a pocket clip slot for lefties. So lefties, you get to enjoy this. I think, honestly, you're going to enjoy it more than a right-handed person because a button lock is a little bit easier to manipulate, in my opinion, with your index finger than with your thumb. So really good stuff from QSP, the Swordfish and 14T28N. If you don't like the burlap micarta, which I also don't, it looks like petrified grandma's couch. I think they have a few different options. So I'll make sure and link this guy down below. Not bad for $70. Last but certainly not least, it is definitely the most expensive knife. But I have a little bit more to say. The Shirogorov Quantum Ursus. We really should be... I took a second look at this. This is not a new knife. It's been around for a while. Considering how much money, if you didn't know about Shirogorov and you didn't know that knives can cost $1,000, brace yourselves. Knives can definitely cost, I would say that's tip of the iceberg. They can cost a lot more than that. But what this guy is a less expensive version of the Shirogorov Quantum, which I own. That is an $1,100 knife, unless you get the Gen 2, which is a $1,200 knife. That's crazy. But these things really are on a different level, right? A lot of people, looking at them, they think, oh, it's just this material and this material. Could it really be that much better? Shirogorov owners, people who own real Shirogorov knives, they know they really are made differently. They really do feel different. The quality is very much apparent. And a lot of times you just don't know until you get one in hand. The Quantum Ursus, or the Ursus line, is a line that's meant to, bring people Shirogorov quality without bringing the price tag along with it. This guy has a lot of details from the original Quantum shaved off of it, including the finish, some of the extra details like the little pocket and the flipper tab, some of the chamfering lines or some of the milling lines down here. Things like the backspacer are gone. Just things where they can cut costs, right? But truthfully, it's like I said in the review, this is Chromax PM, by the way, which is used exclusively by Shirogorov. You can't find it anywhere else, and it's a new super steel as of 2021. It's supposed to have incredible corrosion resistance and really, really good edge retention while maintaining excellent toughness and ease of maintenance, which is great. It sounds like a really nicely balanced steel. This is your best bet if you are drooling over Shirogorov knives. And honestly, it's people transitioning out of the $500 territory and wanting to find the next step up. A lot of times people have been tempted by Shirogorov knives, but what turns them off is the $1,000 price tag that accompanies most of their models. The premier models like the F95 or the F3, that's about $900. The Quantum, there's a couple others, but they all hover around that $1,000 territory, and that's enough to deter most people. There are a lot more people who would spend $600 to $700 knife, $600 to $700 on a knife, though, I mean, admittedly not a lot. That's still a ton of money, right? But if you want to buy a Shirogorov, you're just not ready to fork over $1,000, honestly, the Quantum Ursus is your best bet. This is an E-Knives exclusive, so this particular one's a little more. I think it's $775. But you can get the full titanium Quantum Ursus with a G10 inlay, your choice of color, for, I think, $695. Compared to the $1,200 Gen 2, that's a $500 discount. Compared to the Gen 1, it's a $400 discount. Honestly, I think that's very fair. This feels 85%. I mean, look at the action. It's still got multi-row bearings, guys. This feels, and it's still got the detent ramp too. 85% at least, perhaps even 90% of the feeling that I get from the original production variant. But they just give you a massive discount. In my opinion, this is, if you want a full-size Shirogorov knife, but you don't want that full-size price tag, this is your best bet. And it's available. I'll link it down below. Lefties, they make a lefty version of this, so you're not left out, which is a terrible, not an intentional pun, but it's just part of how I word it. Anyways, once again, we have the Shirogorov Quantum Ursus. We have the QSP Swordfish. We have the Savivi Cybernetic. Very cool. We have the vosty Nightshade and LMAX, and we have the beautiful and realistic. This is a must purchase for 2023. You don't have to do what I say, but if you value my opinion, that's a must buy. At $78, the thing's crazy. All of these will be listed down below. You guys can check them out if you want to. That's going to be pretty much it today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.